Before I get into part 3, I want to briefly touch on the changes I made to the deck, because there were quite a few of them. Basically, I cut some of the less necessary cards to make room for, I believe it's a 13 card Murloc package, so I changed almost half the deck. But I think the Murlocs make a lot of sense. For one, Murlocs have a lot of powerful 1-drops. I'm playing 7 1-mana Murlocs in this deck, and among them, Toxfin really stands out. I think one of the matchups this deck struggles in is against Mage, and Toxfin is a really cheap, really efficient way to deal with a Mountain Giant, which I think is huge in that matchup. Another struggle that this deck has is actually killing people, which isn't really a big deal when you're against another board-based deck, but if you're against a slow deck where your rush stuff isn't that effective, you do need to actually kill the opponent, and Murloc War Leader is a nice way to be able to burst the opponent. Grimscale Oracle as well. So the Murloc package offers us single target removal and kill potential, both things that I think this deck was lacking before.
Versus Rexa. Let the hunt begin. Victory or death.
Probably don't keep Toxfin when I have other 1-drops and no Murlocs. Do I want to keep a Crystallizer and a Town Crier? What would I rather find? Battle Rage, Frothing, Carpet. Let's toss the Crystallizer. Tidecaller. Probably play Tidecaller on one instead of Town Crier, because I have a 2-mana follow-up that actually buffs this if I trade it. Let's just get his mech off the board so he can't magnetize. Let's keep protecting this Tidecaller. Next turn I can buff both of these with Cold Light Seer. Still have like 6 1-drop Murlocs in the deck I could draw to go along with the Cold Light Seer. I've had a pretty insane curve this game. Alright, so this is 10, 14. This is just lethal, alright? Alright, well, that was a game of Hearthstone. Uh-oh. I think Warrior is going to be tough for this deck. But if there's a card that can help me beat Warrior, it's probably Frothing Berserker. Crystallizer, Coin Frothing into Magic Carpet. This hand would be sick against a lot of classes. Oh my god, double Frothing. This is a winnable game with double Frothing, for sure. Battle Rage is also a nice pickup. You know, if he never plays any minions for me to run into, these Frothings don't actually get that big. Okay, I can run into that. Looks like it's gonna get to kill one of my Frothings. Let's get a rush minion and then just send it into the Devastator, I guess. I guess just doing this also makes my guys 4/4s, huh? Alright. I think trading off the Crystallizer was better. For some reason I thought these would be 3/4s if I did that. But I still like the turn. Town Crier, play this. Save the carpet for when we can. Get some rush combos out of it. This board is pretty tough to deal with. If he brawls, it's really... looks like he's brawling. It's really high risk because a Frothing could live. Even if the 3-3 lives, that's pretty okay with me. Nice, got a Frothing. Alright, let's play these guys. That's one brawl down. Warpath still doesn't kill either of my threats. Dynamatic is very unlikely to be good here. I guess he's got an Execute to go along with this. Oh, Warpath. That was a really strong turn. But he had to let the carpet live, that's good. Problem is my hand doesn't really use the carpet that well. Do I just want to play double Spear to the Rhino? Just because I get buffs out of the carpet? I think I just like one Spear to the Rhino, one Hench-Clan Hogsteed. If this Hogsteed dies, I get a Murloc, which can push 5 damage with double War Leader. Okay, that was a pretty good spread. So I've seen a Dynamatic, a Warpath, and a Brawl. I think I'm just all in on Murlocs here. I can hold back on one War Leader, I guess. There's really not that much reason to play the second one. I mean, I guess the reason is that it's in play and can't attack for 6 next turn. What if I just go Oracle, War Leader, and he has either second Brawl or second Warpath? Can I win the game? Probably not. There's no point in holding back if I still lose to the same stuff if I hold back. Okay, this could be pretty okay. That definitely could have been worse. Eat 6, I like it. Looks like I got there. Cool. I'm pretty sure this is an awful matchup, but the Murlocs put in a lot of work this game. I think the non-Murloc version is probably like 0% against Control Warrior.
Let the hunt begin. Victory or death.
Probably don't want to keep this Hogsteed since I have a Town Crier. Toss the Toxfin since I don't have any other Murlocs, although I guess this thing is a Murloc. Turn 1, double 1-drop. Hogsteed cleans up whatever he does on turn 2, and then I can use Toxfin to kill an Ursatron on 3 or something. Maybe I just keep this hand. It feels weird just full keeping when I play so many 1-drops in my deck anyway. But I can just see this hand really working out. Magic Carpet's really good and kind of makes me not want to use the coin here. So what's he doing on turn 2? Venomizer. I don't know, I'll go Crystallizer. I can't really think of anything that this deck does on 2 other than Venomizer, though. Oh, it could be a Galvanizer, I guess. I think the 1-3 is just a good stat line into his 2-drops. Alright, a 1-3 is definitely way better against a Direwolf Alpha than a 1-2. Although it looks like I'm probably just going to run a Hogsteed into it. Alright, not sure why that ended up being a rope. So I think I certainly want to play Hogsteed here. Question is, do I hold the coin so next turn can be Carpet, Coin, 1-drop? Or do I coin out the Tidecaller here, which makes it 2-2? I think I like saving the coin. especially since his turn 3 is likely to be an Ursatron. So, Carpet, Coin, Toxfin, poison the Ursatron. That went pretty much exactly how I was hoping. This guarantees a Hogsteed, I do believe. I guess we run this in here. Take out the bombs so you can't magnetize stuff onto them. Takes out a lot of my damage, but it's fine. Still really far ahead. This hand is actually super awkward. This is like the most awkward set of cards I could have this turn. I guess I'll just play Frothing and use some onboard trades. It's better to send 2 1-powers into this, right? Because it buffs the Frothing more. Is he dead yet? Got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. War Leader gives me 15. I think I can get up to 19 here. Pump these in here, they each buff my Frothing by 2, so it's up to 10. Rabid Worgen into here puts my Frothing at 12. War Leader on these is another 7, which is 19. So I guess the plan is just do this. And what now? Kill this thing, I guess? Am I scared of him magnetizing anything onto these bombs? It's kind of a lot of effort and a lot of missed damage to kill them. If he straps on like a war gear or a missile launcher or something, he's still just really freaking dead, right? And if it was Ziliax, the bombs don't really change with the Ziliax all that much. If he has a Venomizer to go with this as well, I could be in trouble.
Watch your back.
Victory or death!
I can go to find some sturdier 1-drops. And I don't like how easily Frothing dies against Rogue. This is a good hand. Tidecaller into Tidehunter.
Too soon.
Seems like a pretty straightforward Tidehunter turn. Ooh, didn't kill my Tidecaller. Do I want to trade into a 1/5? It's good against Kobold Lackey. I think he definitely would have played SI7 Agent there if he had it. Probably would have gone Dagger Coin Deckhand. Maybe not. That's not a great use of the coin. I guess trading is also better against the Goblin Lackey. Let's kill it. Alright, cool. Still got my 5 in, basically. And Sea Giant is looking pretty playable this turn. Shout out to turn 4 Sea Giants. Wow, that's a lot of damage with Grimscale Oracle. Hogsteed. I don't have board space to play this plus Sea Giant, so we'll settle for just a 2-mana 8/8. If he kills Sea Giant, I have 2, 4, 6, 8. If his whole turn is killing Sea Giant, I actually have lethal with Grimscale Oracle.
Blood and plunder.
That's a lethal. Man, I think Sea Giant is even better in this version of the deck. Holy shit. After playing nearly 30 games with this deck, I actually came away very impressed. I went 20-8, which is about a 71% win rate. But I will say that that record probably doesn't quite tell the whole story with this deck. Of those 28 games, 19 of them were against Hunter and Rogue, where I went 9-0 and 7-3 respectively. And those are, of course, very good matchups to be doing well in. But somehow I only queued into 2 Warriors, which I have to imagine is just an awful matchup for this deck. I also queued into 0 Control Shamans, which is probably another tough matchup. I think in general this deck probably doesn't do that well against decks that aren't fighting for board, but holy crap does this deck absolutely stomp things like Mech Hunter and Zoo and Token Druid. So overall I did have a very good win rate with this deck, but it's going to depend a lot on your matchups. As far as changes I made throughout the videos, I think the Sea Giants are just absolutely core in this deck. I wasn't playing them originally, but I had multiple games today where I played a turn 4 Sea Giant, and holy crap, that's just disgusting. The bigger change I made, though, was adding all the Murlocs, and I think the Murloc version of this deck is probably better than the non-Murloc version. As I was saying, one of the struggles with this deck is killing control decks. Against something like Mech Hunter or Zoo or whatever, it doesn't really matter if you ever kill the opponent because you just kill all their stuff and they die eventually. But that doesn't really work against Control Warrior, Control Shaman, and in those matchups I think the burst potential from Murloc War Leader, and to a lesser extent the Grimscale Oracles, is really powerful. Plus the single target removal potential out of the Toxfin is also pretty nice in those matchups. So I really don't think I gave up too much by adding all the Murlocs, and we gained a ton of burst potential and single target removal. So I think the Murlocs are just correct. Of the Murlocs, I would say that the Murloc Raider is kind of a filler card, maybe not necessary to the deck, and maybe Cold Light Seer isn't necessary, but I'm playing, like 15 Murlocs, including the Death Rattle out of this Hogsteed, so I think the Cold Light Seer gets its buffs in pretty often. But overall, I'm very happy with where the deck ended up, and if I keep seeing Hunters and Rogues, I'm going to keep queuing this until I hit Legend with it.